Hi, this is Cosmic Mike and welcome to another episode of Vitamin Wednesday. We get a lot of questions about sleep. We get a lot of customers asking, what's helpful for sleep, any supplement. And I'm sure a lot of you have seen this or may have used melatonin. Well, you know what? A lot of questions we get asked is, what is melatonin? How much can I take? And is it safe? Melatonin is really a hormone that the body releases due to the change in the light which our eyes perceive when it gets darker, and it produces the pineal glands in the brain produce this hormone which is melatonin, which helps us calm down, relax, and go to sleep. And of course this is the opposite of the other hormone, which is cortisol, which is in the day, which gets us going. So very important, the circadian rhythm to balance with melatonin. And that's what the body uses, which we discussed the last few weeks ago in my video. You can see in my feed the circadian cycle that's governed for sleep and other things. Where the rotation of the earth, which determines the sun and the moon's rise. And this is what helps the melatonin increase in our system. And this is what puts us to sleep. Now the issue with sleep we're having nowadays is because we have light where it should be darker, and we are too active at the point where we should be calming down and settling into our beds. So the body's kind of fighting, where the brain is telling that it needs to go to sleep because it's got darker outside, but when you're at home with all these lights and the TV or the blue light coming from your screens, it's telling the brain again there is brightness, and the eyes pick up that brightness and it's telling the brain that we are not ready to sleep. So there's a fight happening between the production of the melatonin and reducing the melatonin production of cortisol. And that's why a lot of people are not able to go to sleep, because they could be agitated, they could be active, they feel energetic at the end of the day. And this is where they're having problems going to sleep. But in my practice or in my recommendations, I generally do not just jump to the melatonin, because the melatonin is really to balance the circadian rhythm. Now the circadian rhythm can go off if you're traveling zones, if you're a night shift worker where you're working at nights and sleeping in the day. So see, you're going against nature, where you should be sleeping in the darkness, but you are really working in the bright and really thinking, have your thoughts and being active. So now the body starts getting confused. And this is where you could have a lot of issues, especially those workers or those nighttime workers where they start gaining weight, digestive issues, lack of energy. For females, a lot of hormonal changes, maybe the cycle gets heavier. And so, staying with nature and staying with the circadian rhythm, it's very important. And that's what melatonin is used for. So if you are working the night shifts, then definitely you should be doing melatonin. And also if you're traveling a lot for business or anything else with zones where you realize you get jet lag. And that's where the melatonin is used to kind of offset or bring back that into balance. So next time when you travel and you take a small melatonin before you go on the plane, and while you're on the plane, you would see that the jet lag is not as heavy as when you reach the next few days and you're able to get to that rhythm. Especially when we travel to India, where there is 12, 13 hours, or in Asia difference. So that can take a toll on you with a jet lag. So taking melatonin can help in that sense, but not for daily sleep. That's what I do not recommend, or that's not the first thing I would jump to. But the market calls for it because it's advertised as sleep, is advertised in benefiting for sleep. And the dosages, well, the dosages higher, it's always in this industry or on the internet, everything that's higher is better. That's not the case. You should not just jump for the highest amount of melatonin. You can start with a very 0.5 or 0.2 or 0.3 milligrams as such to be the least amount of melatonin to start, because you are not sure why your melatonin, or if your melatonin is low. It could be, just like I said, just the activities that's happening, or you are being too active at the time of sleep. And there are a lot of other herbs which we'll discuss in my other videos, of course, valerian, chamomile, magnesium, passion fruit. All these are balancing and relaxing. Holy basil, which is tulsi, which is also great just to drink with tea, as tea in the night, to try to calm you down instead of changing that hormone level. So I think starting with a small amount is always good. Larger amounts, a lot of people do take them because they want to get knocked out, and it will knock you out. So you definitely don't want to be out there. You don't want to be driving or managing any kind of machinery or anything. So not necessarily higher the better. That's why I would like to ask my clients what and why and what is the reason of taking the melatonin. Now in kids, that could also be a situation where if the melatonin is low, they won't be able to sleep, hence they're not growing as much, or their body composition, it's not tallying up to their age. And this is where melatonin can help, but starting again with a small dosage. And definitely you want to ask your doctor or get your blood tests done for the kids. I have seen a lot of research with autism where kids with autism also have a low amount of melatonin, where they're secreting very low amount of melatonin at the point of sleep, where after 6 o'clock. Of course, melatonin is not going to be that high in the mornings or in the day. It is going to be high when it's dark. So understanding that, that you don't want to just jump into melatonin. And the side effects, well, the main side effect that I've seen, I've used it only once and I cannot use it because it makes me groggy. It gave me nightmares. So I've used it, once in the last maybe 20 years, but it made me very groggy in the morning. I could not wake up. It's like I had a hangover, and definitely it gave me nightmares. So you want to watch out for those. Now the different forms it comes in chewables, it comes in gummies, it comes in tablets. But what I would suggest is taking the sublingual, because the sublinguals do not go through your digestive system. They're going directly into your bloodstream. So those are going to be more effective or quicker absorbed, where they're getting into your bloodstream. So you will feel that sleepy thing, going in about 15 minutes. How to take it, of course, just starting with, again, a very small dosage, maybe a 0.5 milligrams or 0.2. Now those are very tough to get, so you want to be careful. Most of those are 1 milligram to about 10 milligrams or 20 milligrams also. And if you're diagnosed with low melatonin in general, then definitely you should go for what your doctors prescribe. The source of melatonin, now you want to know, is generally animals or synthetically made. So you want to make sure, if you're vegetarian or vegan, you want to make sure that it says on the bottle. Now there are very few companies out there that do make a plant source, which generally comes from rice, and you want to really see on the label if it's specified to exactly where the source is. But I would say 80 to 90% is coming from animal. So melatonin, I just wanted to give some little thoughts on melatonin. Not my first recommendation, but if you have any further questions, you can always reach out to me, of course, at peachvitamins.com, and give us any comments there. Or if you have used the melatonin and how is that working for you, it'd be great to get some feedback for other clients as well. So hope everyone has the rest of the week safe, sound, and we will catch up again on Friday for Mindful Friday again. Thank you for joining Cosmic Mike. Good night.